Now, not the entirety of the Golan Heights is de facto under the control of Israel. There's a small portion of it that is still under Damascus's control. And I was lucky enough to visit that part back last year, back in 2018. And really it was something of a turnaround moment, I think, for that part of the Golan Heights. Because when I went there, it was mere weeks after the Syrian army and the Russian jets liberated that area from the control of ISIL. There were certain pockets of Islamic State there, like Al-Qaritain, for instance.
We have heard the opposing views, obviously, to Trump's decision from the international community. What about Israel, though? Surely this is the best outcome that they could have hoped for.
Indeed, for Israel it is the best outcome, but I go out on a limb and say that I can name one person who's particularly happy that things are shaping out as they are, and that is the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, because he's facing elections in a couple of weeks, and in the run-up to these elections he's been embroiled in a massive, nasty corruption scandal. Now that he's thrown a bone to all those in Israel sharing the nationalist tension, he not only has Jerusalem recognized by the United States as the capital of Israel, but also he now has the Golan Heights.
We had arguments from both sides of the Golan Heights debate.
We are already in control of the Golan Heights for 52 years. The Golan Heights is actually a heaven on earth, unlike the rest of Syria, which became a hell. Israel there is some kind of a good thing for the inhabitants and everybody else. Jerusalem is also not recognized as the Israeli capital. So what? Look, Jerusalem was the Jewish people capital already for more than 3,000 years. So what? Do we need the recognition of the world?
The reason that they decided to go after the Golan Heights now, they are under the impression that Syria is weakened. The central government is incapable of really kind of establishing a clear and strong and decisive foreign policy. It's barely trying to battle the opposition and ISIS and other groups. And this is the best time for Trump to hand this gift of the Golan Heights, in contrary, of course, to international law and to common sense, to Israel. The United States stands on the side of Israel 100%, unconditionally and blindly. They are trying to give Netanyahu everything that he wants at this point.